This is what we're going to be making in today's video. It's part of the Everything Crafting collaboration playlist, and I host it every other month with my dear friend, Lady Red Crafting. And today's guest host is A Perfect Place to Start. I'm going to have a link to their channels as well as a link to the playlist in the description box. I hope you check it out. I know if you're like me, you're kind of super excited to get inspired and get into some Christmas crafting. So that being said, let's get on with the video. This is actually the second time I recorded this voiceover. I don't know what happened with the first one, but that's okay. We just move on, right? So I did make myself a little template, and it's in this shape of a Christmas bulb, like an old-fashioned one, or I guess what I consider an old-fashioned one. Anyway, I used cardboard. I love to make templates because it just makes my life easier, you know, than trying to freehand that. And so I sketched that out, and I did take it to my garage and I cut it out using my jigsaw. Is that what it's called? Yeah, one of my saws. Anyway, then I'm using paint. So in the video, you're going to see me, I've got two paints laid out right now, but I end up going back and using Folk Art's Bright Green and Folk Art's Christmas Red. So I kind of, I start out with those two paints, but then I switch in a bit. And I'm painting all over and all around. And then I have a little square scrap piece of wood, and I'm just painting that with, let me get the paint. It is Folk Art paint, and it's called Cinnamon Cannel. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, then I'm taking a paint pen and I'm outlining the light bulb. And I'm going to do both light bulbs just like that. And I do kind of have to tap to keep the paint kind of coming out good. But because the wood is not super smooth, it does kind of, you know, not go on super smooth. That's the only thing about using like scrap fencing wood, because it's just not super smooth. Yes, I could have sanded it a ton more, but really, who has the time? Not me. So I'm writing Merry on one and Bright on another. And I started to write little and sign, but I switched that up in a second. Now I'm using some gold paint to kind of do the light bulb socket thing at the bottom. I'm not sure of the parts of a light bulb, but that part right there, I'm painting with just 4 gold lines. And then I'm taking a round brush, not one of my good ones for watercolor, this is just for regular painting, and I'm painting on the different and sign, because I think my other one looked like some kind of Greek symbol. Okay, now switching gears. You'll see all this at the end. I took, again, made myself a template. I used cardboard that I get out of the cat's cat food box. So I buy soft cat food, and in between each layer of the cat food, there are these little pieces of cardboard. So I use them a ton of times to make myself templates. So what I'm going to do, here's a little trick for you. To keep things in place, just tape it down to a paintable surface. Again, here I'm using that Folk Art paint in the color Cinnamon Cannel or Cannel. I don't know. If you know how to pronounce it, let me know below. And then I'm just painting over it, because you don't have to, like, yes, I could probably have found some house shapes somewhere, but I mean, I could just make them myself. And all I'm doing is I just put a little blob of paint there, and then I'm painting on. Had a little bit too much paint, you'll see what happens later, but I've already started here. I'm just taking a white, this is a grabby white acrylic marker. I don't know if I show it to you on camera or not, but this thing works wonderfully, especially for like the fine little details that I'm trying to put on here, and it does not glob out. I don't really have to reset it or like pump it to get more to come out or anything. So I really, really like that. I'll try to make sure I link that below, because I think you guys will enjoy it as well. Oh, look at me. I just said I don't have to pump in, there I was. But it does come out really super smooth, except if what you're painting on is not super smooth, then you may have some issues, because it does, you'll see it kind of splatters a little bit if the surface that you're using is not smooth. And so I'm just painting these little houses. This is going to become a garland. And then when I go to remove them from the paper, you see the paint kind of stuck to the bottom of the little piece of cardboard and stuck to the paper. So that was a bit of a mess. It's very easy to clean up. I just tore off as much of the paper as I could, and then I actually got my finger sander and I kind of smoothed out the areas that still had a little bit of the paper on it. You're not going to see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's what I was just trying to do to fix it. And then to attach it all together, I'm using my hot glue gun and some baker's twine, red and white baker's twine. I got this at Hobby Lobby in the paper section, like the envelope section, and it's really nice and thick. The one I got from Dollar Tree, it just feels so, I don't know, it just feels thin and cheap to me, and this one feels really nice. And I'm putting a blob of hot glue. I burned myself in a second here. I think, I don't know if I left it in or not, but I put a dab of hot glue at the very tip top of the house because I didn't want them flopping back and forth, and if you don't, then it becomes harder to keep them all aligned. And then in the end, anyway, you'll see in the final reveal, they're not really aligned anyway, but it works out just fine, and they turn out super cute. Gosh, y'all, we're already on to the next DIY. So I am repurposing these two houses. I had them in my stash, and I was going to make part more to my gingerbread village that I'd made in years past, and I'll link that up in the little card section or down below. And it was one of my most favorite DIYs that I've ever made. Anyway, so I'm repainting those two houses, and I'm using that folk art cinnamon cannel because I wanted the color scheme to be kind of cohesive throughout all of my items, because this is all going onto one tiered tray. And I did trace out or kind of sketch out some lines for myself so that I could kind of keep things straight, and then I didn't worry about being super perfect or neat. I was just adding decor to the front there, just sketching on windows, sketching on little scalloped edging, sketching in just, you know, stuff like that. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make it look like a gingerbread house, and you can get tons of inspiration on places like Pinterest, or just Google it, gingerbread houses, and it'll pop up lots of different designs that you could put on there, and some of them get super intricate and really pretty. But anyway, and some people, I'm using that grabby acrylic marker again, and some people use the paint, what do you call it, the puff paint kind of stuff. Oh, we're on to the next bit. We're on to the next DIY, y'all. Sorry, y'all, keep up. Lisa, keep up. So this is a book stack. You know, I love to make a book stack, and I'm just kind of seeing how they're all going to fit together here. And then I do separate them. And then I go back in, again, using the same folk art color, cinnamon cannel. I'm going to I wish I knew how to pronounce it. Anyway, I'm using wood glue and some hot glue for an immediate hold, and that's how I'm going to attach these all together. You don't have to attach them together. I like them to be attached. I'm not really going to reuse these because I have enough scrap wood to make different kinds. And this themed tiered tray, you know, I just keep it all together in one little box at the end of the season. All right, so I'm attaching them all together as you see here. And all my projects were like in process. You can see the mess on my desk. And here I am sketching out, writing Baking Spirits Bright, because this is a no Cricut video. I did not use my Cricut at all in this video, not even once. And so I wanted to try to write everything myself. And I tell everybody, you can write it by hand, and then I hardly ever do it myself. Here I'm writing it myself. And so I've just sketched it out to kind of see how my letters would fall, and then I'm trying to write them on as neatly as possible. And I think, you know, overall it turns out fine. But again, this wood that I'm using, this was I forget, trim piece or something. It's not smooth either, and so the grabby marker does kind of splatter a little bit, and I'm not sure if you can really see it, but if you can, that's why, because it's not a super smooth surface that I'm writing on. All right, this I think is the last one. No, it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But it's a cinnamon swirl, cinnamon peppermint. Not cinnamon, peppermint. It's a peppermint. So I had this round circle, and it used to be like a little plant stand thing, like a little mini plant stand, and the leg broke. And I thought, well, let's just reuse that for this. And this is super easy. It was already white. I just gave it a fresh coat of white paint, and I'm adding in the swirls. And that's it. And you can kind of see where I've traced on. I go back with the white paint to kind of cover that up. Oh, we've got one more. Yay! So this is a rolling pin. And I used to kind of be obsessed with these because I just think they're so cute because they're little. And so I'm using that same cinnamon cannel. Gosh, I really should have looked that up first. And I'm using that Christmas red on the ends. And this is how it's looking. And I was trying to decide, am I going to use that red with white polka dots, or am I going to use that striped one you see at the very top of the screen? I ended up going with Baker's Twine because it just felt like it just kind of felt more cohesive if I used it that way. Again, I've taken a piece of paper and I'm kind of sketching out writing gingerbread. And I wanted to make sure it was going to fit. I didn't have to write across the whole thing. I almost did. I mean, it's a long word, but I kind of lined it up. And I even sanded this before I painted, and it still kind of splattered on me, which was a little disappointing because this is a little bit more fine, like detailed area to try to clean up. But in the end, I think it looks cute and I made it myself, so I'm proud of it. It's kind of an abrupt end, but here we are at the end. Don't forget, thank you to Lady Red Crafting for always being such an amazing and awesome co-host. Thank you to our guest host, a perfect place to start. I really do appreciate you joining us this month. I hope you check out the playlist below and see what the other creators have created, because I'm sure you'll be amazed and awed and inspired just like I'm going to be. I'll have more information in the description box as well, like links to things and some of my favorite watercolor stuff, so just be sure and check it out. And here's the final reveal. Y'all, this is a cute little tray. So I got this tray, I don't even remember how long ago, but I have a similar one. I actually have a similar one for sale on my eBay. But this is nice, it's cute, it's small, and it just fits the perfect size. And all my little DIYs came out so cute. So super proud of them. Again, thank you for joining me today. If you want to follow me on social media, my handle is Our Gray House. But just don't follow me in real life though, because that's creepy. Bye.